talent on this panel that they keep coming back. So let's bring out Sherlock producer Sue Virtue. Sherlock executive producer and co-creator and Mycroft himself, Mark Davis. And executive producer and co-creator Stephen Moffat. Now, it's my understanding that Benedict and Martin are not here because they don't love us. Can you confirm that?
One of them is a high-functioning sociopath, the other one is a hobbit. Let's upset them.
Yeah, they hate it. So
Yeah, that's the truth.
yeah. But
Or is it truth? It's the made-up part, apart from the hobbit.
however, it is also my understanding that they might have sent a little glow.
Yes, I've got an 18-page letter here. Read out.
Let's see, can we roll that?
Hey, Comic-Con. I'm sorry about the Sherlock chicken. As you can see, I'm otherwise engaged. I hope you have a fantastic time. Look after the ball for me. Make sure you really scream and shout and ask them lots of belligerent, badgering questions. They like it. They like it as well when you try and tear their clothes and their hair as they're trying to talk. So don't let me down on that. I hope you have a great time. I leave here and then go and do the third episode of the third season of Sherlock, which looking forward to it greatly. So I shall hopefully see you soon. If I don't see you soon, then you will see me sooner. Lots of love. God bless you.
To talk to you about John Harrison, aka Khan, who's to the sequel to what I thought was a fantastic reboot one. Sorry. So, yes, hello, Comic-Con. It's a great pleasure to be here to talk to you about Smaug and piece of shit accents. Cool. Chili? A sandwich? Sherlock? That's what talking was television. But you watch so much Sherlock? Oh! My name's Benedict Cumberbatch and I play Sherlock for the BBC and I can guarantee it's more fun doing it than it is watching it. Apparently you have quite a lot of fun watching it, so that's how much fun I have doing it. We've started started series 3, we're in the middle of it. We've done the first 2 episodes and had to take a little break whilst Martin got his sweaty prosthetic feedback. And I was joining to grab a little bit in New Zealand. There you go, folks. That's my New Zealand accent. Yeah, we're back at the end of July with episode 3. It's been so much fun. The scripts are just a delight, and I can't wait for you to see it. Yeah, I think we're in for a treat. We've really enjoyed making it. I'm on holiday at the moment, and in the kind of giving vein, and having, for pretty much 2 years of my life, not being able to talk in any kind of detail about who I'm playing, what I'm doing, what my character does, how he does it. I just think, yes, I'm going to take it. So, here's a ledge of the building. Here, the show. Now, let me tell you that I also play a character called...
It just went up on EW.com. So let's start with the big question.
He does actually reveal it there.
Big monkey.
And helicopter and a cup of tea. So let's start with the big question from that video, the one that you can't exactly or won't answer. But the rooftop cliffhanger, Sherlock's plummet. Have you been surprised by how much speculation that there's been about online and the whole frenzy since that aired?
I think by the time we got to transmission, we knew it was going to be huge, because the second series had been even bigger than the first, and we started to think, oh my God, what are we going to do to them? He dies tragically, then he's behind a tree. How he possibly survive? And at that point we started to realise, watching Martin's house, this is going to be ridiculous. People are going to be so cross. And that's when it got really fun.
We were watching it at Martin's, and even having seen it 150 times, actually approaching the last sort of 20 minutes, it was incredible, the atmosphere, wasn't it? It was just so exciting. So we knew everybody was watching at the same time. And it's a very rare thing in this age, a kind of communal viewing experience. And then as soon as it finished, everyone's phones just went crazy.
We went to, when we were showing Jeremy Loving on the Recce bars, where, that happened, and I was saying to me, there's quite a lot of speculation, it's quite a big thing now, and I said, those people over there are probably fans, and he said, no, I think they're nurses, Sue. At which point we heard somebody go, and this is where he fell.
So is the solution something that you can actually figure out from watching what's already aired? Or
Yes, what's keeping you all for God's sake?
The important thing to remember is there really are only a few ways you can fall off a roof and survive. There's not black magic, alas.
Yeah. So is there anything else you're willing to tell us in terms of teasing what the solution? I mean, has there been anything online that you've seen that's actually got it right?
We can't really comment on the online stuff because that gives away something, and also we haven't read it all, so we don't know everything. But it's a rational explanation. We did know it before we shot it.
We just didn't have the money to shoot it.
And we shot quite a lot of what you're going to see. It was already done at the end of series 2. So we knew how it was going to be done. And when you see the answer, you'll see that, yes, we had to know in advance. It had to be plotted out.
Right.
So it's... I mean, for me, I'm really quite interested in it. All the talk tends to be about how did he do it. And I don't believe that's the thing that people are really most excited about saying. Because that's just an answer.
How John is going to react.
Yeah, I think it's when John and Sherlock meet again.
That moment in the finished episode 1 is electrifying.
Yeah, and it goes on and on. It's great. So I think that's the showstopper. And that sequence, quite lengthy sequence, I think it's probably my favourite moment of Sherlock we made, because it's lengthy. We go at all guns blazing, because it's a long, complicated emotional journey, and it's extremely funny. I think it's a joy and a delight, and that is the showstopper of the episode. And of course, yes, you'll get an answer, but not without some teasing on the way.
And that answer also involves, from what we've seen online, that Andrew Scott is coming back to shoot a little bit as well, who of course plays our beachy loving.
We needed a dead body.
Moriarty.
And Andrew's cheap. So.
Yeah.
He looks quite like Moriarty, so we got him.
Yeah, it was actually cheaper to get Andrew Scott back to do that than to get him Anakin. There's no point. And that's been a whole new career for him now, if you watch Murder Mysteries. He's often dead bodies now.
But he is dead.
He is dead.
He is dead.
Shot himself through the brainstem. Don't come back from that.
There is a funny thing a lot of people have asked us about. He can't be dead because you don't see the back of his head come off. This is 8:30 on BBC One. There are certain things you still can't show.
And that's interesting because you killed off like a central main Sherlock Holmes character. I mean, do you feel that eventually in the show that the very last episode that you could actually kill off Sherlock or John Watson? Is that possible? Is that something?
You can. They've been solving crimes in Baker Street for over 110 years. They're never going to die, are they? If he did, he'd just pop up behind another tree.
There's something about that actually, that mostly in all the years that people have done news stories and pastiches, they sort of generally play fair. There's something about it where you want to feel that they're always being Baker Street, whether it's in 1888 or in the present day. You just want to feel they're always going to be there. So it's kind of the right thing to do is not to make anything definitive like that. Yeah. Except
so in the original stories, Moriarty doesn't.
Yeah, Moriarty dies. He's dead. Yeah. So he shot himself in the face. What would you want? Do you think they were all on that rooftop and fake suicide at each other? What a waste of a scene. Were you faking? I was faking too.
So how much Mycroft can we expect in season?
quite a lot.
There is quite a lot. It's really nice Mycroft.
We can't really say without giving anything away, I suppose. But yeah, it's a lot of nice stuff. And it's obviously the big thing we wanted to explore was in the original Conan Doyle story, Dr. Watson's reaction is really dealt with very quickly. And he sort of forgives him, and we just thought, that's just not going to happen. There's a massive impact. If your best friend had pretended to be dead, and you moved on, and then just appeared and said, "Hi, have you missed me?" That's going to have a big impact. So we wanted to explore how it really affected all of the regulars, really, all of his friends and extended family.
He seems so cold towards his brother sometimes. What's your take on what Mycroft feels towards Sherlock? Do they have some bitter family history there, or is it just...
we were very inspired by a masterpiece film called Private Life of Sherlock Holmes by Billy Wilder, which, if you haven't seen, you must see. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. Very funny, very melancholy film. And Billy Wilder and his co-writer, Izzy Diamond, did what we sort of feel is like they took a logical step on from Conan Doyle, which is to make Mycroft is the British government, which is what Doyle says, but in a way he's almost like the sinister British government. It's like the Diogenes Club is like a behind-the-scenes force, and they do this. They have a much sort of spikier relationship, which we just thought was much more interesting than them just getting on.
Right.
So, but it all comes from a point of caring. I mean, even the very first episode when he's sort of encouraging John to spy on Sherlock, it's because he cares. He sort of wants to bring him inside the tent.
Right.
And really, in opposition to Mycroft, you suddenly realise that Sherlock is like a loose cannon. He's like a crazy young brother.
At one point, Benedict said that there's going to be they were signed on for the 4th season, and there's this little bit of scrambling of our star is sort of speaking a little prematurely. Where's that at this point?
Well, to be honest, I'm sure Benedict is probably the single biggest yes you need to get. So if he has commissioned another series, good. Well done. We didn't know we had commissioning power, but we are going to get him to announce other things. Mark and I quite like announces, and we thought maybe Benedict said it on the red carpet.
I think he'd ask for his own first, though.
Yeah, I think you get that line wrong.
They're optioned for the 4th series. We just haven't worked out when we're going to do it.
Excellent.
So you commissioned series 1?
Yeah.
Sue commissioned series 2, actually. We were told when we were on to our breakfast television programme, one of Sue's very first appearances on television, and she was told, briefed to say nothing about series 2. And what she said was, yes, there's definitely no. That's second letter. I think you just commissioned it. You've self-commissioned. In the middle of the BBC, you walked in and robbed them of 3 films. So that's how we do in this show. It's your turn.
Step Benedict back out with just plans for 5, 6, 7, 8.
Since they're so busy doing feature films, it does raise the question, given the rising stature, has anyone ever broached the idea of doing a Sherlock as a feature film?
Well, we sort of do. It's an interesting thought. They take ages to set up films because films are really slow compared to television. We'd never want to do anything that reduced the quantity. We want to keep that even further. But you never know. Who knows? We do have it by accident and surprise, the two biggest British film stars out there in our show. Mark and I was just thinking, what if we were inventing Sherlock now? And we said, who would be great in this? It would be Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. And then we said, well, you wouldn't even get them in the same film. Hoxie British series made in a big leaky shed in Wales. But we do get them, and they're always delighted to come back. And same blokes as ever, although they're much more famous than us and doctors.
You announced 3 hints to the series 3 episodes: Rat, Wedding, and Bow. The first episode is called The Empty Hearse. What can you sort of tease to a little on that? Obviously, we find out resolved last season's cliffhanger.
That's it. It's a very short one. We just kick off a little reprise and so. Well, no, it's based on The Empty House, but only a little. I think Doyle himself would have admitted that the whole reasoning behind that story was just an excuse to bring Sherlock back. Mm-hmm. So in a way, it's a similar thing. It's got a different plot essentially to The Empty House. But I don't want to give too much away. But the enormously important thing is the impact that Sherlock's return has on John Watson particularly. And then something with a rat in it. Maybe a biscuit tin.
And the second episode, it's a Sign of 3 seems to reference when Watson meets the love of his life, Mary.
Yes.
And the second hint is Wedding.
Yes.
So therefore we should conclude from that.
Well, I can, hot off the presses from 110 years ago, Tom does get married. Yeah. We hoped you wouldn't go and sneak ahead and read the book. But that's what happens when the secret is out before you're born. And, keep watching this panel for a treat later.
So if John does get married, does Sherlock need to find a new roommate?
Well, I think there is only one human being in the world who would tolerate being Sherlock. Who says he lets him move out? Why are you living with her?
It's a big flat with a shower there. It's like the one in Friends. It's much bigger than the original piece.
It's a whole floor.
They keep adding rooms.
We do. It's growing.
Since they're not here, we can talk about them. What would fans be surprised to learn about what Benedict and Martin are like on the set or their approach to their characters? That they
violence, I think, the violent mood swings, the clown costume. Well, they have a natural chemistry. We knew it from the moment that they read together. The show was in front of our eyes, and they just get on tremendously well. They're just completely different people, very like Sherlock and John are. But they really just have a really good laugh, and it all transmits itself onto the screen. I think you can really see how much love there is behind the chemistry.
I suppose the biggest surprise when you encounter them, if you encounter them in character first, is that actually Benedict is the goofy one, and Martin is the very sardonic one, very dry one. So it's almost the other way around. But they're just. I'm just thinking of what you were saying that when they read for the parts, we auditioned them. We auditioned in a room, not even a nice room.
When they read together.
Yeah.
No, that's true though. Benedict is he's really quite puppyish and sort of bumbly, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Martin is much